What made me to organize this seminar, right? Recently, I've been receiving many calls from the parents who attended my digital parenting workshop, and they have been having a lot of challenges in terms of when the lockdown started. They thought it's going to be a kind of a sprint, but the entire lockdown turned out to be a kind of a marathon. Now, parents are wondering how to really engage the children when they are initially, because of the anxieties and worries, and there were no other options. We easily allowed children to work on and occupied with the screen. But now it has, some of the parents were quite worried because it has become almost more than 8 hours. And so, if that continues, it's a real problem and challenging getting back to the normal learning mode. And that's where I thought of organizing this webinar. And along with me, I'm having my guest, Mr. Naveen Lakkur.
I would like to bring some thoughts and insights using the book of mine by name A Little Extra. It's a book of illustrations. So let me share a few insights related to the digital parenting challenges, right? And how do we reload it? And what does reload mean? So my concentration is going to be a lot on reload. Well, you were talking about the current challenges that as parents had expressed, and how to even handle that. But I'm going to be reloading it, right? With that, let me move to the next slide, which will talk about another situation, right? Situation here is about struggle is ordinary, acceptance is extraordinary. Struggle is ordinary, acceptance is extraordinary. I'm sure we all are going through this, and even this digital challenge as parents, hard to accept it, and we are all struggling, and that's where we are here to see what can we learn, what can we do, can we get some nuggets, can we get some insights, and how do we use it. I'm so happy that you're all extraordinary because you're taking that little extra effort, wanting to be in such a program to learn, right? So that is extraordinary. So you're already extraordinary, and what we are trying to do is give you that little shots of inspiration, insights, which could trigger new ideas in your mind, so that you could try, right? So struggle is ordinary, acceptance is extraordinary. Easier to say, harder to follow, right? The struggle. So let's understand struggle. Struggle is good. It's not that struggle is bad, but it is a struggle, right? So even watching these kids so caught up with their digital devices and not sure, what to do. How do we get them to be away from it? While we ourselves would have given the mobile when they were much smaller, and now we are like saying, hey, they are too caught up on it, right? So the struggle itself, I want to relate that to Cobbler-Ross's model, phenomenal model, simple also, of struggle, right? He says there are 5 stages of what we go through as struggle. The very first stage is about that we deny, right? The denial would happen. And the second stage, after that denial, then the anger creeps in. Like, that's the second stage of that struggle. And the third stage is bargaining. I'm sure you can relate to within your own family or with children, that how you would have gone through all these 5 stages. The first is denial, second is angry, third is bargaining. It could work both ways. You either being angry or denying it or bargaining it, or it could be the other way around too. So the child is denying or being angry and expressing that anger so that you yield, or it could be the third level of bargaining. right? How many times have we done, oh, if you do this then I'll get you that, kind, that's what it's a bargain, it's a kind of trying to do a deal. Then the fourth level of struggle is actually not good, is depression, right? It leads to depression. Then the fifth level is acceptance. Acceptance here is more because of giving up, kind of a thing. So can't do much anyway. So and then you accept, right? That's the five stages of struggle by Kobler-Ross model. But I want to introduce you to the model of Triple I on change acceptance model, right? It is about, it starts with acceptance. We all go through the struggle, but if we can be a little extra and fast track and accept the situation of whenever there is that sudden change, right? COVID is a classic example. On struggle, I'm sure you can relate to all that five stages that many of the people would be going through. But some of them, what they did, very quickly they accepted the current situation of what COVID is and the lockdown is. And with that acceptance, came that freedom or the power, right? And now let me introduce you to the model of Triple I, Institute of Inspiring Innovation, that we have come out with. As again, five stages here, starts with acceptance after the struggle. And the moment you accept, you have that power to understand the situation better, and then goes to the next level of analysis. So you'll get into the stage of analysis. Why is it? What is it? And how can we deal with it? What can we do with it? And what does it do for us? Even COVID is a classic example of, the moment some people accepted, it could be, and then they saw that, they had a better understanding and analysis, including the strategy of social distancing or the washing our hands, and even engaging with children. So it came out of that acceptance, and then came the next level of possibilities. Right now, you're talking about possibilities. What can we do? How do we engage? Is a lot of time is there now? This is the time we should do something. All that possibilities open up. If possibilities open up, that is the stage setting for the next level of the stage of 4, which is innovation. So that is when you make that possibility into a reality, and that such that it brings in that benefit. And once you do it and it's put into use, who knows? That takes to the next level as the new norm. That is the new normal, is going to be the level 5. So this is in short, change acceptance model for you all, right? And even with our children, it is true. Let me now talk about few of those facts which I think it's important for us to accept, right? And it is not easy, but we should accept. So let me tell you a story or joke that I came across some time ago, and it's so relevant. See, between this, the joke said this way: between husband and wife, there are two cell phones sleeping on the bed. Between husband and wife, there are two cell phones sleeping in the bed. So that's how it has become. Cell phones have become part and parcel of our life, and we are so caught up with it, and we keep that in between us even when we are sleeping. What do we expect when the babies are born? Digital is also born along with them, right? So unlike many of us who are parents, we have seen the analog era. But those who are currently having kids less than, say, 10 years of age, or even 15, 20 years of age, they've been growing up with in the digital world. For us, the cell phone was too big a luxury, right? And the way we treat it, because we waited for almost 10 years to get a landline. And if somebody had a landline or even a TV, we used to go and watch and enjoy that. Those were the moments of digital wasn't widely spread. Today, it is part and parcel. So what do we expect the kids not to be using it? They are going to be. So let's accept some of the facts that they are growing up as in the digital era. Second is that I think it's going to be part and parcel of every field. There is no questions. Like take it medical field to the field of audit, or you aspire your children to be engineers, and obviously technology is a part and parcel of it. Any field for that matter, even art. So it's the digital era that we are in, and they are all growing up in that era. Unlike you and me, we will put a cell phone guard onto our phones, because for us it's a big deal. But for these kids, they really don't care, because they when they were born, it was already there, so they know. And they've watched us, right? How we give importance to the digital and expect them not to be so much of digital, even if you call it addiction. Nothing wrong, because that's a part and parcel of their life, right? So with that, acceptance gives rise to possibilities, right? Opportunities.
All these ideas that which I shared and Mr. Naveen Lakkur shared requires an attempt, an option to share it, to experiment, and with that, you can also find some of the solution to the challenges that you are having it right now. So I would invite all of you to participate in this program and take away some great child engagement ideas and enhance your role and make it a joyful journey. So thank you all for joining. Feel the joy of being a parent.